When I go and I create a piece, I go into a lot of darkness. There is a lot of emotion here, and a lot of the pieces are difficult for people to handle. I go deep down as far as I can find into the darkness. And these pictures emerge. I was diagnosed at 5, but I had had problems since I was born. They found that I have Crohn's, which affects your entire digestive system. I have had to look and sort of grieve that part of my life, but I finally found this outlet. And so now it's like they're beginning to meet. And so now I'm re-experiencing, or in many cases experiencing for the first time, the feelings I had then. I never thought of myself as a sick person. I didn't think there were any limits to what I could do or what I could be. There's a certain amount of defiance that you need to have, I think, to survive this stuff. My first solo show opening up is going to be in Dallas, Texas at Waz Gallery on May 25th. Opening up is the title of the show, and it's a title of one of my pieces. That first hospital visit was when I was taken into a room and I was tied up. This is about me. Instead of someone else opening me up, this is about me opening myself up. If you look at the piece, the guy's turned away. He can't look at the viewer yet. He's being vulnerable, but he's not completely vulnerable. It's about going into the wound and exposing it, and that's where you find the gold and the heart. Like when I'm going in there and I'm finding that pain, I'm going into the darkness, and then there's that pain there, but then all the beauty, the blessings, and all that comes out in the color, because I've always reacted to color. I've always been really sensitive to it. Looking back, and certainly I notice it now, that I vibrate with colors, and I can feel that in my body. I just did my first presentation for the Apple Store, and I both did a demo of how to do certain things in the various apps I use and with the various tools I use. A big thing about using the iPad is the immediacy. I was trying all kinds of different markers, pens, charcoals. I was trying to find things I could work on while I was laying down a lot. So when I'm able to go in and start to feel those feelings, I can quickly go to the iPad and start painting and start expressing. And it changed my life. I use Adobe Ideas, primarily for black and whites. What I love about it is the look of it. I love the clean lines. But generally what I do is I start in Sketch Club, and then I go to Procreate. And then in Procreate, I start creating layers upon layers upon layers of color. And so that's a way of me mixing colors. That's a way of me creating like an intermingling of the colors. So they're kind of weaving together, but it's still just like painting. It's just like, imagine having every tool in the universe at your fingertips. And so you can combine water and oil, and you can do whatever you want in these. You can have any size brush, you can construct your own brush. It's incredible. So you have real control, but then you still have all the wonderful and happy accidents and discoveries that come with creating a work of art. I use a number of different tools. One of them is this one. It's the Wacom bamboo stylus. And I use this for sketching and sometimes some detail work. So this one is what I use for most of my color work, and it's a little bit wider and softer than this one, which is the Sensu. This kind of gives a different look to the piece when I use this. Also, this is good for detail work as well because of the stiffness. Augmented reality is a technology that allows you to aim a smartphone or a tablet at a piece of art and allows us, the artists, to add like animation and sound and video and all sorts of things. The iPad is that thing. It's like I'm moving stuff, but I'm getting stiller and I'm quieting down. So when I can get quiet and get with myself and know that either I'm not fine or, express whatever emotion, that actually gets me to a much better place of being fine, then I'm truly fine. I'm like at peace. Being able to engage the viewer like that and draw them in, and especially with my work, because really what I want from my work is connection. The greatest interaction I can have with a viewer of my work is for them to open themselves up and feel the emotion of it. I've always believed that the specific leads to the universal. So as I connect to that part of me inside myself, then I can connect to the part of you or anyone else out there who's willing to access those feelings.